Well, of course, my first guest tonight plays Dr. Peter Benton on the NBC hit series ER. Thrilled to have him here tonight. Please welcome Eriq LaSalle.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming.
Oh,
happy holidays.
I'm glad I didn't get sick.
Yeah. We actually, I was in a restaurant with you once, and I was like across the way, and I'm a pretty friendly person. I say hi to people, but actually, because your character on ER, Dr. Peter Benton, is so, you probably get this from other people, so kind of moody and intense. I was actually intimidated to go up and say hi. Your character affected me. Do you get that from people ever?
Yeah, actually I do. We, as a matter of fact, when we were coming in tonight, people wanted to ask for an autograph, but, you know, you just put that stare on, the Benton stare.
That's nice.
Hey, man, it works. You know, there's like, you know, you're in a restaurant, you're eating, and it's just like that whole radar goes up, you know, so it's like, redhead with freckles wants autograph, you know?
You're very attractive people. I find. But you do have, but it's not really, that's, I mean, you must be drawn on some part of you to be able to do that. You know, you probably had, are you a moody guy, or? I mean,
I've been accused of being moody. I think I have more of a sense of humor than Benton.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard for people to differentiate between, you know, what's acting and who this person is. So when it's advantageous, I just let it ride, and when it's not, you know, I'll speak up. But it's, you know, it's a little bit of me.
There are people that actually believe I'm a goofy idiot. Shocking. Now, I understand, though, that you have a sentimental side. You cried recently at a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't, no.
What movie did you cry at?
No, you know, it was one of those...
Just tell us the name of the movie. That's all we need. Just tell us the name of the movie you cried at. That's all we need.
There's a big story there. It was, I mean, people can understand this. It was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No. Cry at that movie?
There's a little history. I was on a plane. This was a couple of years ago. I was on a plane. I don't know. I mean, have you ever gone through one of those periods where you don't emote for a couple of years? I hadn't cried. I guess I was like stopped up. I don't know. I was like emotionally constipated. Yeah, you know. So
it's a medical term.
You know. So I'm sitting there in first class and I'm watching this. You know, and then there's a part where the aunt dies. And I just started crying. And I'm trying to hide it because I got this reputation.
Right.
But,
did you try and do the stare again, but it was too late?
That was gone. It was gone.
Couldn't get it back?
I cried like a little schoolgirl.
That's very hard to explain to people, too. I do know what you're talking about. I've had that happen, too. Like just a commercial on TV makes me tear up.
Sometimes it's the silliest things. The big things you're cool with. It's just, you know, the little unexpected things. But, hey, you know, we're all human.
Yeah. Well, of course, we do the show out of New York. You've done a lot of work here in New York. You did soaps here. Is that right?
Yeah, I started off, I attended school here. I lived here for 12 years. And my first job was Shakespeare in the Park. I did with Kevin Kline, Henry V. And it was a great experience, but I was basically a glorified extra. You know, I had 10 lines, and I was so bored most of the time.
Because you'd just be standing there on stage? What was your role? What part?
I played a conspirator. I played one of the guys who was trying to kill Henry V, and he discovers this plot, and he has this huge 5-page monologue where he's, you know, off with their heads. And so each night I decided to entertain myself, and I would do a different animal or an insect that would personify my character. And so one night I was doing the spider, and so when I was sentenced, I would do like this dying spider that was busted. And Kevin is just emoting. No slam against him, but he was off doing his thing, and half the cast was, instead of watching him, they were watching the dying spider. And so the next day the reviews came out, and I think it was Simon who said that there were 5 shockingly bad performances, and my name was right up there.
You were like, I made it into the paper.
I made it.
So each night a different name. Were you ever like the moth and you were in the corner?
I was trying to be subtle, but just something that, entertain. But it was, listen, it was, it brought a lot of laughter to a lot of people, so, it worked.
That's what Shakespeare's tragedies are all about. When you were doing the soap operas in New York, what kind of experience was that? I mean, did you find that a pleasant experience?
It was both. It was a learning experience. I was fresh out of school, and you show up, and whatever someone tells you to do, you do. And then I had one director. I was doing a soap opera this guy decided that I needed to be taught how black people act, and this was a white director.
Right.
And so he wanted me to act black. And I had no idea what he was.
Was his name like Corky or something?
I don't know.
I'm Corky Anderson, and I'm going to tell you how to be black.
I mean, and it was, it started off very subtle, and then I think it graduated to this just like glaringly offensive state, But it was, one of those situations where he wanted me to walk in, and he wanted me to do the whole pimp walk, and I'm going. So he started literally doing like Huggy Bear. And the more he would do Huggy Bear, the more I would do Sidney Poitier.
Right,
Right. So it was just really like a battle of, I'm fighting for some dignity here.
Right.
And so I think he thought I was like the dumbest actor he'd ever met. So after literally around 12 or 13 takes, he let me come in the way. Because he would say, do it like this. And I'd say, oh, okay, I got it. And I'd come in, very dignified. So finally, he just gave up. And
this guy will never learn how to be black.
He'll never be an actor. He'll never learn how to be black. He's throwing away a very valuable experience.
Right.
And, but
he'll never get all the work that Huggy Bear gets now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know that, that of course you'd admire an actor like Sidney Poitier, but you also, I've heard, you like and were a fan of the blaxploitation movies.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up like Shaft.
Yeah. We grew up on those, and we had I'm from Hartford, Connecticut, and we had a theater called the Colonial Theater on Farmington Avenue, and every Sunday they would show either 3 kung fu films or 3 blaxploitation films. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing because, you'd have like a bunch of kids leaving the theater, and depending on what you saw, you walking down and you're making the sound effects, and if it was a blaxploitation film, you'd come out walking like Shaft or whatever. But that was,
So you knew how to do it. You were just being difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah. Difficult guy. All right. Well, ER, of course, like I even have to mention it, but it's on Thursdays at 10 o'clock on NBC. And Eriq, we were really happy you could stop by. Thanks very much for being here. Next
time we're in a restaurant, don't come up to me. No, I'm only.
It was a Hooters, remember? Eriq or Salle, everybody. Alan coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.